Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Earlier this week, I sent an email greeting to my friend Margie, who I'm known for ever, wishing her a happy 59th birthday. Margie is a year younger than I am. I was intrigued by her comment, and it was the inspiration for my speech today. She said, "It's weird at being this age. This is the age that my parents are supposed to be." I thought, wow, she's right. This is how old my parents were when I thought they were old. How did I get this old? Am I really old? How do I know? Well, here's a few examples. If you still get the newspaper delivered in your driveway every morning, you know you're old. How many here get the newspaper delivered to their driveway? You know you're old if the first thing you read in the paper is the obituaries. Now, in my first 30 years, I attended exactly one funeral. That was my dad's. In the past year, I attended 10. You know you're getting old if you still use a corded phone. Younger people don't bother with the landline phone company, and frankly, I don't blame them. But the one thing I like about the corded phone is that when the winter storm knocks out the power, the corded phone still works somehow. How many here still have a corded phone? You know you're old when the biggest part of your music collection is on vinyl rather than digital. How many here still have a turntable on which they can play their vinyl records? Now, how many people still actually listen to their vinyl records? Yeah, I don't even listen to mine anymore. You know you're old when people tell you that you look good. Think about it. When's the last time that you told a 30-year-old, "Hey, you look good"? Yeah, Lauren, didn't she look good today? But when you talk about your mom or your grandma, yeah, she looked good today, didn't she? Think about it. I trade that gag with my stepfather all the time. But I have the advantage because he really is old. You know you're getting old if you wear a wristwatch. I actually got rid of my wristwatch several years ago, and I rely on my cell phone. I'm not old, I think. You know you're getting old when you give up the things that you used to do when you were younger. Now, I'm not thinking the childish things like Paul refers to in the Bible. I'm thinking sports and loud rock concerts, things like that. The last time I played football, I broke my finger. Wow. And you're probably out there thinking, football injury. A weekend warrior took one for the team. Let me guess, you probably made the game-saving tackle on the last play in the red zone and sent your team home to victory. And it wasn't like that, actually. I was playing catch with the neighbor boy who was about 14, and he had a football like this, only it was one of those smaller ones. It barely fit in my hand. It's one of those little rubber ones. And I reached up to catch it, and snap, my finger broke. I'm just glad it wasn't a Nerf football. I haven't played football since. I need some advice. I think you can help me. When I was a kid, I could do a cartwheel. And it wasn't just one cartwheel and done. I could do a cartwheel and go around the whole front yard until I fell over dizzy. It's been a while, though, but I bet I can still do one. I think I can. Who here thinks I should do a cartwheel? Woo! Who doesn't think I should do a cartwheel? Am I too old for such things? Not really, but I am too wise. How many here are retired? I'm halfway there. I'm tired. But people start asking me about retirement. I talk with my siblings about it. It comes up because, let's face it, we're all old. My oldest brother, talk about old, he says, I'm never going to retire. I'm going to keep working forever. I thought, ooh, that actually doesn't sound great, but my job's going to end later this year. Should I retire? Would that make me old? I think I'll keep working. Let's look at two folks that really got old and see how they responded. Orville is a friend of mine. He's in his late 80s. Orville's probably the most miserable person I know. It's sad. He seems to thrive on misery. He's old and helpless. Well, he's not helpless, but he thinks he is. And it's really annoying is what it is. He doesn't have to be that way. He seems to spread misery wherever he goes, but he doesn't have to be that way, and that's really annoying. Orville's going to die a sad, lonely man. And I don't like that, because Orville's my friend, and I love Orville, and I don't want that to happen. Clearly, Orville's the negative side. Let's look on the positive side. Jim is a friend of mine at church. He sang in the choir. He told me when he was 88 years old, he said, getting old is not for the faint of heart. Orville's health was failing, and yet he lived on another 8 difficult years. But Orville was just a wonderful guy. He was great to talk to. He was great to sing with. He spread cheer wherever he went. He had the biggest smile, and he wore it all the time. We're all going to get old eventually. At least most of us will. And we'll have choices about how we want to be when we're old. Don't be like Orville. I'm not going to be like that. I want to have fun when I get old. I'm going to be like Jim. How do you want to be when you get old? My advice, be like Jim. Close enough.